As a pretty sweaty Apex player, I decided to give my perspective on what your main Apex legend says about you, so let's just dive straight into it. If you play Bangalore in Season 14, you're either holding onto something that passed away too long ago, someone stole your legend, you're a cheater, or you are Shiv FPS. Bangalore is a pretty good duelist with her passive and, good smokes, let you control the fights, but the majority of Bangalore players don't even know how to trigger their passive, let alone throw a smoke out without smoking their teammates off. Cheaters love to play Bangalore since they don't need to learn movement, and they can just smoke and then aimbot through that smoke while they can't be shot back. Bangalore is even less viable nowadays due to legal wall hacks and, of course, as we all know, the illegal wall hacks. If you're playing Bloodhound, you just don't want to use your brain, you don't want to think about, where people could be. Instead, you want a trail to tell you where they are going to be just so they don't catch you off guard. It's very likely that you are extremely skittish with trust issues from a previous ambush and you're unable to approach any situation without a preemptive scan. You are either a Blood Hunter Chad pushing everything with your ultimate, or too afraid to be anywhere except behind your other teammates. You could also be playing Bloodhound to get free passive RP by scanning the enemies without actually attributing anything. If you play Caustic, you want to play the game out of the same building that you started in. As soon as things get heated, you fart all over the floor and hide until everything blows over, or, well, you're dead. You feel lost without a sniper rifle or a shotgun in your hand, extremely scared of the outdoors to the point where you avoid it even in game. If you play Crypto, you were an iPad kid. You spend too much time trying to set up plays that realistically will never happen. You constantly worry that someone will walk in on you during your alone time on the tablet. You never get to play the game. You just watch your teammates die through your drone so you can rest them again. You don't want to be brave, but have no issues if your teammates are. If you play Fuse, you love hurling grenades at your enemies, but you have no idea how to properly do it, so you need double the range. You probably can't hit that many shots, and you think that a well-placed knuckle cluster can get you a squad wipe. You constantly go for max range arc stars and empty your entire inventory on the first enemy that you see, only to have 0 grenades for the rest of the game. You're tired of losing your duels or getting shot in the back, so you double up with twice the shields to hide behind. Your kit doesn't allow you to ever lose a 1v1, but you somehow find a way to anyways. You never use your ultimate except when you want to cut yourself off from your enemy or you completely miss it. You're either playing Gibraltar because you're a Chad who feels like it, or because your teammates have been begging you to. You watch big streamers play Horizon in ranked as they're running through gold and platinum players, and you keep thinking that this will work for you as well. You can't get a squad wipe to save your life, so you rely on your ultimate and a stack of grenades to do it for you. You might be a movement fiend looking for the smoothest slides. You probably have gone deaf in at least one ear from all Horizon's voice lines.
How curious. Let's prep to defend here.
If you play Lifeline, you probably just started playing the game, or you're playing with a set of friends who are better or more experienced than you. Your playstyle consists of following everyone else like a lost puppy and beelining to revive your teammates as soon as they go down, no matter what's going on around you. Probably sub 1 KD, especially if you have a default Lifeline skin. If you play Loba, you play the game with one hand. And I mean that in all the ways. Loot is the only thing that you care about, to the point where you will drop across the map and spend the entire game looting every single POI with your ultimate until you finally die to the first team you run into. It's very likely that you will let your teammates die just so you'll find yourself a golden sniper magazine. Oh yeah, and by the way, I've said this time and time again, I will not be apologizing to the Loba mains community. If you play Mirage, you enjoy making outplays, but you're not exactly sure what an outplay actually is. So you pick the legend that's designed around tricking your enemies, because tricking means outplays, right? Odds are you expect your ultimate to be a free teamfight winning card, but you give yourself away and instantly get beamed when pretending to be a decoy. You are either a loot goblin who picked Octane because you grew tired of your teammate running ahead of you and getting all the loot that you want, or you're a cracked Octane sweat who jump pads straight into the enemy team and then promptly dies. You haven't learned rotations, positioning, because all you do is running around with your stim until you run out of health and die to the first tied to the first ring. If you play Pathfinder, you're Chad. You're very successful in life, very cool, gets all the ladies. Meta changes don't face you, and you will play something because it's fun, not necessarily because it's strong. If you're a Pathfinder, you either spend most of your time grappling around or being downed on account of the humongous hitbox. If you play Rampart, you're probably a little bit like Caustic. You want to spend your entire game sitting around in one position and just not moving. You're afraid of taking fights where you aren't behind your barrier, and you have been trying trying to set up a successful Sheila squad wipe since Season 6, but you have yet to succeed. Somehow, you're more campy than caustics because all you want to do is sit behind your barrier. If you play Revenant, you either really enjoy dying or you play in a full squad to try hard in lobbies with a Bloodhound and a Octane by your side. Every time a fight is close, you instinctively check your ultimate and then ask if the jump pad is ready. You are guaranteed to run and hide if you don't have the Rev Octane combo. Potentially an edgy teenager with a name like XX Def Sniper 1337 XX. If you play Valkyrie, you try to play hard, but you just can't do it. You have been let down by your thrusters and been hit by your own tactical ability more than you'd like to admit. Your game plan is to either run over a team or fail and then instantly use your ultimate to run away. Odds are that you have been spamming my comments about how Valkyrie's kit is terrible now that she's been balanced, and you can't see that she still has pretty good distance on her ultimate. If you play Watson, you're a wholesome, supportive person, and while you want to spend most of the game playing defensively, you will play around your teammates and follow them to the ends of the earth if it means that you'll be there together. Chances are your ultimate has eaten your own grenades several times a day, but you still keep throwing them into it. Probably an enjoyer of certain adult comics and or feet. If you play Wraith, you believe you're the next ACU. Your natural habitat is ziplines and the return to lobby button. For someone trying so hard, you seem very disinterested with actually winning, and as soon as you're in trouble, you just leave the game. You think that the finger wagging patch is the worst update to ever come to Apex Legends, along with the nerfs to the Wingman and the Peacekeeper. You were very ahead of the curve if you played Maggie before Season 13, a trendsetter, a being of superior intellect. If you play her now in Season 14, you're still apparently ahead of the curve and wondering why nobody else has picked her yet. You only know how to full push or go back to the lobby, and the idea of sitting around doing nothing in a shooter battle royale bores the hell out of you. If you play Maggie, odds are you used to be a Bangalore main. If you play Ashe, you're still mentally stuck in Season 11 when Stormpoint came out, and you can't accept that maybe Ashe isn't the main rotation legend anymore. You probably think that her sword is the coolest thing to ever exist, and you probably have ulted straight into an enemy team to immediately die at least once. I'm pretty sure that's part of learning Ashe at this point, honestly. If you play Newcastle, you have realized that Lifeline isn't going anywhere and have instead evolved to the next level. Your playstyle revolves around playing behind your teammates, reviving with your shield, and walking backwards. And of course, using your ultimate to dash to your teammates as soon as you hear enemy footsteps nearby. If you're playing Seer, you're either cheating and trying to hide it, or you want to enjoy the benefits of playing with a wall hack without getting banned. Lil Nas is your favorite artist, and you are absolutely ecstatic that it didn't touch Seer for Season 14. Odds are you're always playing ranked and chronically in a full pre-made squad. This is a safe space, you can admit it. You're playing Vantage because you're too afraid to take a fair fight up close. There's no shame in admitting this, we're all here for you. To be fair, if you're a Vantage main, you could be a sniper abuser who's stuck on any possible high ground, but you can also be an insane movement Andy who wakes up every morning feverishly scrolling through Twitter to make sure that they didn't fix your movement techniques just yet. And the news about their heal dash cancel being buffed has you flying through the roof, like literally. And that's what your main says about you. If you're interested in a tip for all these legends from you guys' legends mains, check out the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. The ultimate.
Cheers,
Oh, the body hop.